Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Julio, the Roadside Genius. And today, in order to help you grow your business, I'm going to talk about motor clubs. Specifically, I'm going to talk about what is a motor club, what are the requirements to join a motor club, what do motor clubs typically pay, what you shouldn't do when you're contracted with motor clubs, and ultimately why I work with motor clubs and my personal experience with them. So, if you haven't been in the business too long, you may not know what a motor club is. This is for you. If you have been in business a while and you know what a motor club is, just hold on a second. We'll get to some juicy stuff for you in a minute. So, what is a motor club, right? Essentially, a motor club is a third-party company that connects us service providers with another company that offers roadside assistance to X number of people. So this company can be a dealership, this company can be an insurance company like Geico, or it can be just a company that needs us service providers to go do tire changes, jump starts, and lockouts for their customers. So what those companies will do, we'll use dealership for now. What the dealership will do whenever they sell a new car, right, they'll tell that customer, hey, listen, we have roadside assistance insurance. It's only $200 for the whole year, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll purchase that insurance. So then they have this customer that needs a flat tire change or whatever. And then we have the motor club. So the motor club actually contracts with that facility. So that dealership, that company that has workers will contact AAA, a Giro, a motor club company to take care of those jobs for them. And what this company will do, this motor club, they're going to contract us to come and help their customers. So essentially, a motor club is a third-party entity that connects us roadside providers to people that need roadside assistance. We set a rate with that motor club company. They honor the rate and they pay us based on what we've agreed to. Simple as that. It is a third-party company that can help us businesses get more business, right? Every business you join when you're in business, every company or partnership you make is going to require you to have some sort of requirements that you have to meet. With insurance companies, those requirements are general liability insurance and commercial automobile insurance. If you get commercial auto and general liability in the amount of $1 million, right, that means that you'll be able to work with most motor clubs because most motor club requirements are $1 million of general liability and $1 million of commercial auto. You can play around with this one with some motor clubs like I do. I think I only have like $500,000 for my policy and they let it happen. Don't know why, but they do. So those are the general requirements to join a motor club. Now, what does a motor club typically pay, right? So you're probably thinking, man, if they have $1 million liability policy that's required and they have to have $1 million on my car, my vehicle to work for them, they must pay well. They don't. They don't pay well at all. So most companies that I contract with, I won't mention names, but I do work with the biggest ones. Most of them that I contract with are between $25 and $30. If you're getting higher than that, that means you're in an unsaturated market, which is really good. But that just means that somebody's eventually going to undercut you and offer that club a lower price. So you're going to get paid less. So that's the typical amount that they pay is between $20 and $30 a call. Sometimes they'll pay more, sometimes they'll pay less. It really depends on the contract that you signed and what you've agreed to. So, what is the biggest mistake that people make when working with motor clubs? I've seen my own business partners do it. I've seen my friends who run their own businesses do it. I've never done it myself because I just know better. But the biggest mistake I see people make is, let's say you start with a motor club, right? You got the insurance, you got the tools, you're cranking out calls. 6 months down the road, work slows down for some reason. You're not sure what's going on, but you're concerned because, hey, that was a good amount of money you were making, and that motor club was keeping your business flowing. So what does a business owner do in this scenario? Well, I've watched people call their insurance agent or call their field rep or their account manager. There's many names for those people. And tell them that we want to renegotiate our rates. And what they'll do is they'll price their rates lower, thinking that they're going to get more calls. But that doesn't mean that, right? They have tons of metrics. Insurance companies have, motor club companies have tons of metrics that they use to give us calls, and our rate is just one of them, right? So if you're providing fast ETAs, if you're cranking out a bunch of calls per day, a motor club will still call you regardless of what rate you set. So don't go off and cut down your rates just because it's slow. This just goes into the topic of business resilience, right? Whenever I started the business, I knew that I was going to take some losses. And the losses that I took are mostly from motor clubs. And the thing with motor clubs is you're going to get called no matter what, because when somebody doesn't do the service for 25 bucks, they're going to pay somebody else to go take care of that customer. So biggest rule, tell yourself this: do not lower your rates because you had a slow week, a slow month, or a slow year. Do not lower your rates at all. The only change you should be making to your rates with motor clubs is increasing them, right? So just a quick recap on what we talked about today. You now know what a motor club is, right? It is a third-party company that connects us service providers with people that need services. Their requirements: $1 million general liability, $1 million commercial auto. Commercial auto can be played around with a little bit, but don't quote me on that. Do your research. Make sure you get the right insurance coverage amounts for whatever company you're working for. What does the company pay? Not very much. $20 to $30 a call. It is what it is. We can't control that. What we can control is what prices we set. Don't settle for less. One of the things we don't do with them is settle for less. If you don't get calls, it's okay. Wait for your turn, right? Why do I work with them? Simply put, I work with them because I need their volume, right? I have drivers who work with me. I have people who I contract to, and those people need to eat. And if I can't provide at least 20 to 30 calls a day for those people, it's hard for them to stick around to do work for me. So that's why I work with motor clubs, because I need the volume. And like any business owner who's just now starting, you need volume. So you're going to need to contract with the motor club company. Just do the whole world a favor, okay? When you do contract with them, don't pick the lowest rate. Start off at the highest rate offered and only go up from there if you can. Obviously, some markets are easier than others to work in. Example, Atlanta market with some companies is in the high 50s, right? You go down to Texas with some companies, they're down into the $15 range. They're down into the $20 range. So it's hard to say which are the best companies to work with. In reality, they all kind of suck, but they have a grip in our industry. And if we can't come to terms with that and work out some kind of deal with them, we're just out of the loop on all that revenue. So it's best to get in there, make some sort of arrangement with the motor clubs. Just do not undercut yourself, okay? So I'm glad I got this conversation out today. Make sure that you understand what a motor club is, how it can benefit your business, and what are the requirements to join. Now, if you are interested in joining one of these motor clubs or don't know exactly where to find all the motor clubs, I've got a list of motor clubs that I'm giving out completely for free, and I just need your email to do it. It's on the link below. Click the link, it'll take you, put your email, you'll get it directly sent to your email. And that's one of the biggest things, or one of the most frequently asked for things, is where do I find contracts? And I'm telling you, you just got to click on that link. So hope I made a clear and concise video about motor club contracts. You now know what they are. You now know what most of their requirements are. You now know what you can expect to be paid for doing work for them. And now you know what not to do with them. You know why I work with them and my personal take on why you shouldn't change your pricing. Another thing that I didn't mention is sometimes these motor clubs, if you're not contracted with them, they may call you and ask you for a service. And when they call you, they really, really need you. So if you're not contracted with the motor club and they call you for service, hit them upside the head, because they're undercutting our market. So we need to get back at them. So when they call you, you throw a $95 price, you throw a $250 price, you'd be surprised on what a motor club is willing to pay when they're under pressure. And I've seen it many times this year and last year before. You know, we've had some motor clubs pay $500 for a winch out, $200 for a tire change, $300 for a jump start, and no different than down the road 5 minutes. It just, I wasn't contracted with them and nobody else would go. So they had no other choice but to pay. And that's the way it works sometimes. So some people don't want to be contracted with motor clubs at all, and that's okay. I used to be one, but now because I got people that depend on revenue, I need to have those calls, so that's why I work with them. Kind of went off on a tangent there for a little bit, but I wanted to be sure that you guys get a full understanding of my opinion on motor clubs. If you have any questions or anything, please post them below. Like this video and make sure you click the link down there and get your motor club contract list. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.